Well, I think I can do that. Well, hey guys, how are you guys doing today? Okay, great to see all of you. All right, so question here, Mark, can you explain inner workings, how things come from the unseen into the seen, and how is the brain operated in this system? Okay, so how are you guys doing today? Great to see you here. So why not do that? Let's do that right now. Okay. So, what if I told you that our mind is a altering holographic world simulation, and the brain has its own algorithm? The brain is connected to a field. The field that the brain is connected to is called consciousness. In physics term, they call it the field. Some physicists call it the unified field. Some physicists or some biologists or some scientists call it the lattice. In this field, it's a distortionary field. That means that all the brain is doing is just seeing raw data or information, and the brain distorts the information, which shows up in your world as looking like a physical thing. So let's talk about how these things come into your existence, and this will explain how miracles occur as well. So when you're going to create anything, there's a beginning, and then there's an intermediate, and then there's the full picture. The beginning of the field is when you make a decision. The intermediate part of the field is when you're taking steps to bring it in. Creative visualization is an intermediate part of the field, and then the final part of the field is where it's already complete and finished. So here's what you need to know. Human beings, we are naturally vibrating on a lower aspect of the field. Our consciousness as 3D beings is automatically tuned to the lowest frequency. And you can see this as evident because when you look outside the world, you can only see about 1 to 2% of real reality. 98, 97, 99% of the real world is hidden from us. So that basically means that we've been tuned to the lowest level of conscious. Basically, when you got here, you're already on the highest level, but you were detuned down to a lower level. So the higher level is still out there. So what we know in physics now is that everything exists simultaneously. Everything is already created. We know that now in physics. Okay, so what we do when we manifest something, we're going from the beginning, the intermediate, to the end stage. But what if I told you that there are some people that can skip the intermediate part, and there's some people that can go right to the lattice part, or the part where everything's already created, and bring it right into your reality, and it look like a miracle? You know, like healing your body. There are some people that you can literally, out of thin air, bring in $1 million in cash. Bring in $100,000 in cash. I'm not there yet, so I'm not one of those individuals, but it takes a lot of practice to get to that level. That's another video. But it can be done, and here's the science to show you how it can be done. Right. So here's how it really works. So what your brain does, when your brain goes into the field, it sees information, right? And it creates them like a snapshot picture. So all reality basically is still images of your world. What happens though is these still images, when they come in, your brain tricks you to make it simple. Your brain tricks you to make it look like everything is moving. So when you walk and you're seeing all stuff, but all it is just frames of picture frames. Got it? It's information. All right, so here's what you need to know about that part. All right, here's what you need to know. So because it's like snapshots. So people who can manifest really good, they can hold a snapshot, and the longer they hold a snapshot, it appears in their reality as a physical experience. That's called creative visualization. So okay, when you're manifesting something and you're visualizing it, what you're doing is you're holding the snapshot of the image. The longer you hold the snapshot, because remember, all these images are just passing like this, boom, boom, boom. The one who can grab it and hold it. So the longer you can hold a snapshot, you give your subconscious mind the time to bring it into physical reality. See how that works? So that's how you bring something from the unseen into the seen. Now here's where I talk about some people. There's some individuals out there. You can call them shaman, sets, high vibrational, very yogi. There are some individuals that they can bypass the intermediate process. They can literally go and get a snapshot and then bring it into physical reality in a matter of no time. It can pop in tomorrow, it can pop in right now. Majority of us, it takes us time. The reason why it takes us time is because we have an ego and we don't have our ego in check. And plus we have a subconscious mind that can create resistance if it's not programmed correctly. Now someone says, yeah, someone here says, well, it's because you're trying. That's also correct. Trying to manifest is not manifesting. You just keep trying. So the key is when you are manifesting something, you have to have the faith, not faith with a deity, not faith with a religion. Faith that the thing that you want or desire will come into your life as an experience with no doubt and 100% certainty. That's the faith I'm talking about. Once you have that faith, and then you apply the next method of the creative vision, it pops into your reality. So let's talk about now why there's some individuals that can just instantly get stuff into their reality. Here's what happens. These individuals, okay, here, each person's brain have an algorithm. So if you go on your social media, you type something in your social media now, you get algorithm, right? If you type yellow car, you're gonna see all type of stuff about yellow car. You type anything about, oh, I gotta get like what? I razor to shave or some kind of. You're gonna see all. Your social media now is gonna send you the stuff you look at all the time. That's called an algorithm. So what we've discovered now is the human brain has what's called a neural algorithm. So the human brain has its own algorithm that it will look out into the field and it will select from the field what you want, and you can materialize it into your physical space. Now let's talk about those individuals that can skip that intermediate phase and just go right into bring it into reality, where it look like a miracle, where someone could manifest like money out of thin air, where someone else could just manifest a thing like tomorrow. Okay, first of all, it takes level up of consciousness. So those individuals, they are not on the lower level like the majority are. They're operating on a higher level of consciousness. So people who can do that, the number one is they have a separation from their self. You are listening? So people who can manifest things faster or sometimes instantaneous, in layman's terms, they don't associate themselves as a self. They don't see themselves as a personality, as a name, as an individual, as characters. They are completely separated from the conscious ego mind. They are aware of the mind, but they're not associated with the identity of the mind. So if you want to be one of those persons that you want to get to that next level to manifest, you have to separate from you. You have to separate from the identity of who you are. So that's the first thing these people do. They don't see themselves with a name, a character, a personality, an age. All they see themselves, here's what they do. They just see themselves as a part of the field of information. They see themselves as awareness or consciousness. They don't see themselves as a limited mind. Okay, so yeah, you could say be one with nature. So they see, that's the first thing they do. The next thing they do, individuals who have this high thing now, is they operate a lot of time in the present moment. They are hardly out of the present moment. They have learned to focus their mind. They have tuned the algorithm of their brain into being more present. So that means their concept of time is a totally different concept of time than you and I. In other words, they don't see time as a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, as a year. They don't see time as that. They see time as an ever-present folding of coordinates. They just see time as now, 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 now. They don't see tomorrow or next year or next month. If you go up to one of these individuals and you say, hey, what do you see yourself doing in 5 years? They can never tell you that, because they aren't operating on a linear timeline. They are in the present moment. So we got the first two things, right? So what do? You want to review the first two things? They have separation from the self. They don't associate with the personality. They associate more with the being. Number two, they are constantly in the present. Okay? Here's a third one. So because they're in the present, they operate in a flow state. That means whatever is going on around them, they are aware that it's a hologram, that it's an illusion. So they don't take anything too seriously. They don't take anything too high or too low. They are just in it to win it, so to speak. So that automatically places these individuals in a higher level of consciousness. This is where you get a yogi, a guru, a saint, a higher, a monk. They're in a different level. So when you're when you up in a level of consciousness, when you go into the intermediate level, you pass the intermediate level, now it can look like miracles can happen. These individuals can actually look like they can levitate, because they can break, because it's what you call, I just want to put it to you. Let me see. By the way, I must tell you this, that a lot of modern science will not show you this stuff. They won't talk about this stuff because it's also beyond their understanding. So check this out. But since we know everything is an informational field, everything is possible. Levitation is possible. Bringing something from a physical. Okay, Pichata. Okay, there was this woman. What's this guy named Grincho or Pichado? Okay, there was this woman. I think it was Mexico. But there was this scientist. I think his name is Pichado or something. Her name is Pichado. His name is Grincho. Okay, this woman. He studied this woman for 5 months. And this woman would perform a lot of medical stuff. She would heal people from the sick. One time, this scientist witnessed, I think the name is Pichado. Go look it up, Pichado. You may have heard of this woman. It's about in the 1970s or 80s. I think she was in Mexico. But this woman was definitely operating past the intermediate level of consciousness. Okay? Now, he witnessed this woman went in, someone had messed up lungs, took the lungs out without any medical convenience thing, materialized new lungs. This is not me, this is what the scientist says. Go research. Materialized new lungs in the physical, inserted the new lungs into the person without any formal or intermediate medical intervention. Man, how can this be possible? Science can tell you it's possible, because here's what happens. Remember, there is the feel that all the information is already complete. So if yes, I am very serious. Go research it yourself and look it up. The name is Pichado. The woman is Pichado. See, you didn't know about this stuff. They keep this stuff so hidden. But I could tell you how it's possible right now. So let me tell you how that's possible, so that you can, so you don't say, oh, this makes sense. Oh, this is crazy. Let me tell you how it's possible. It's possible because what we see as physical reality around us, right, is information that's already complete. Everything makes up physical reality. Your watch, your lungs, all that. It's a physical, it's information. So what happens is, if it's already complete in another form, all you do is you skip the intermediate step of the intermediate process. You can go right to where it's complete and bring it in the physical world. That's because the brain, what the brain does, the brain has the algorithm, it goes directly to the field with the attention, and it skips the logical part, and it can materialize into the physical part. That's how it's possible in science. And the only reason it's possible is because of the holographic principle, because it says that your brain and the field have all the information. A piece of your brain has the entire component of the field. A piece of the field has the entire component of your brain. That's what it says, in fact, and that's what people call miracle. So when you say that's a miracle, that's what's actually happened. When you see someone who was very ill, and the next day they're all healed, someone go to the doctor and say, oh, you only got this time to live, and he comes back and he says, what happened? Everything went away. And people say, oh, it's a miracle. Now you know what's happening. They somehow glitched past the intermediate field and went directly to the part that's complete and bring it in. And that can happen to anybody. People can have really high belief. They can be to a point where they just have total faith, and the faith will activate it and it'll go in and bring it in. And then you say, what a miracle. So you see how that works? So that's basically the process. I was just telling you guys that story, and I'm telling you this to just wrap it up, to just show you that yes, it is possible to bring something instantly. Okay, but let's get back to reality. It's possible, yes, but is it likely that majority of people will do it? No, it's not likely that majority of people will do it, because number one, a lot of people are still tied to the self. If they're still tied to the self, they have to go to the intermediate process. So the good news for you is what you can do. You can speed up your intermediary process by creating what we call creative visualization. So you may not be able to bring it in instantly. Maybe you can, maybe if you get high enough, but you can definitely bring it in a right amount of time. And how you do that is you see your snapshot, you hold on to that. That means the process of visualizing something daily, repeatedly, over and over. The unconscious can grab that image and form it into a physical experience. So there you go, you can see manifest. But it's also great to know that you can get to the level where you can actually bring things instantaneously into reality. A few people can achieve it. And the biggest stumbling block, here's the biggest stumbling block people can't get past. They cannot get past the self. People cannot get past the identity. If you go to someone right now and you tell the person, hey, I got an easy way for you to manifest and speed up your manifestation very, very fast. He says, yes, tell me, Mark, I want to do it. I can do it. I said, okay, you have to disown yourself. Huh? Your personality, your name, and all that, you have to strip that away. It's not you. You have to become a void. You have to become nothing. You have to become a part of the field. You have to become a what. You can't be a who. You think how many people want to do that? They're not ready for that. They can't do it. I'm like, nah, man, I got an image, man. I got identity. I got feelings. I got all that. Come on, man. See? They can't do it. So the fact that you tie yourself to that part of it is going to really slow down your manifestation process. Oh, man, you can hear that song there. That's it. Yeah. Man, you got good ears. Don't stop till you get enough. Hey, see? The music is in alignment with that. The music says correct. So you don't stop till you get enough. So you see, everything is synchronicity. Everything is an alignment factor. So my advice for you is, if you want to become the best version, the best manifester, to take things to the new level, is you have to start to disassociate from the self. It doesn't mean you're not aware of that. It just means that you're not identifying with the flaws and the characters of the self. It means you are not identifying with the name you've been given, the age you've been given, the race you've been given, the religion you've been given, the personality you've been given, the beliefs you've been given. You're no longer identifying with those things. You are now a separate being of infinity. You are higher self. You have nothing may cause you fear, panic anymore. Nothing will make you upset. Everything to you is a neutral state. You're always flowing. When people come around, you're not agitated. People will look at you and say, man, don't you ever get upset? Don't you ever feel this? Don't you ever have emotions? Not that you don't have emotions, you have emotions, but you're just aware how to channel them at the right time. Now, it's not saying that you're not going to be human. You're still going to be a human being, because you still have biology system in your body. You still got nerves. You still got the fight or flight. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when those things activate, or when you're in a situation, they are not as effective at triggering you. You don't get triggered. So that goes up. And then also someone asked me, said, what about working out the body? Same principle. If you disassociate from the self, then your body now becomes in harmony with what it was created to do, which is a fine-tuned machine that's controlled by the unconscious. Your body will just start doing its thing automatically. Everything just starts flowing easier for you. Because the thing is, with the self or the ego, what it primarily does, it clogs up your system of manifestation. It creates a lot of fear, creates a lot of doubt, creates a lot of worry. Does that mean your frequency going higher? It means your vibration goes higher. The frequency is the place you go to get what you want. The vibration is the means to take you there. So you don't go to a frequency, you vibrate up to a frequency. Infinite frequencies exist. So look at a frequency like a place. So look like you go to New York City, that's a frequency. If you're in Florida, you want to get to New York, you fly, you drive. That's your vibration. You're driving there to get there. So the frequency. So a frequency is a place in space-time where what you want is. There's a frequency for your money. There's a frequency for your car. There's a frequency for the job. Anything you want, it exists on a frequency. So you don't raise frequencies, you raise vibrations to go to frequencies. If that makes sense. See how that works? Correct. And then when you start to like not associate with yourself, that's when you see like a lot of synchronicities. So for you guys, what you would like to work on, to say, if you want to become a better, is to stop taking this self too seriously. So that literally means what people say about you, what they think about you, that all of that's gone now. You don't literally care anymore. That means that you don't care what people are doing or thinking or saying about you, because it's an illusion anyway. It's not you. You don't compare anymore, because that's also an illusion. So if imagine those two things, how much peace, how much less stress you have in your life. Think about that. If you could get up every day and just walk out and just do what you want and don't care in the world, don't care. Oh, I wonder what they're going to say about my pants. I wonder how they're going to look at my shirt. Oh my goodness, I wonder what she thinks about. Imagine if you could do that. Just go in your mind. Imagine how much free that would be for you. That will automatically raise you to another level of awareness. By just that alone takes like immense energy, resistance energy off of you, man. What's this here? Dusty Road says, I believe you, man, because you're wearing a Yankees hat. All right, thanks, Dusty. Yes, but you see what I'm showing you. So okay, let's go to science part again, a couple more. All right, so when the brain now, see, since the brain has like its own algorithm, right? The brain has information. By the way, the brain and you and I are just like information. Okay, so if this is going to make it easier for you to understand, okay, you and I are nothing but pieces of information. We look like a physical being, but we're not. We are like pixels in a phone to make it easy for you. Everything you see, you're a pixel. Your brain just scrambles it up to make it look like what you want to look at. So if this doesn't humble you, I don't know what else will humble you. You are just pieces of pixels, you and I. Okay, so there's no, I mean, the ego is pixel. So since what the brain does, the brain needs, I best want to put it to you, okay, so you can understand the role of the self. So the role of the self is a guide. The self is a GPS system. That's what the brain needs to navigate. And that's what so what the brain did, it takes the information from the field and it organizes and gave you a self. Can you understand what I'm saying? So the self is just a part of the information from the field. It's not you, you're the awareness of the self. So when the self gets here, the self picks up bad habits. It picks up from the environment. It picks up fear. Picks up the doubt. It picks up identity crisis. It picks up the worry. It picks up the self-comparison. It picks up limitation. Remember, people, you are not limited, you are limitless. So if you are holding on to limited, you cannot be limitless. See? So you have to get off of limited to become limitless. If you want to become limitless, you have to strip off your person. What the Bible says, even in the Bible, take off the old personality and take on the new personality. Take on the armor. See, those are code words to show you this. Pick up the old personality, pick up this. You're somewhere in the Bible, right? Strip off the old, take on the new. They're showing you the code words. That the self is your biggest manifesting block. So example, with me, I don't associate myself with myself anymore. And there are some drawbacks to that. When you interact with people, people can think you are nonchalant. They'll think I'm emotionless. They'll think that I'm too calm. I don't have enough urgency. I don't take things too seriously. But they don't understand that they are the ones. It's not me. I am detached from a lot of stuff. And once you understand that, that's when things will start going good for you. So there are some pros and cons when you start to relieve from the self. But you can get through that and you can work through that, and then when someone gets to know and understand what's going on, then they can see it as well. They can say, oh damn, this guy he's just totally in the present. He's just existing. He's just part of the awareness. He's just accepting what is. You understand what I'm saying? And that for you will be your greatest asset to manifest. What guidance did you use? I used the guidance of science, and I saw how the universe existed, and I saw what we are and how reality works. And I looked psychology and biology, epidemiology of the cells of the body, mind, and all that stuff. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm carrying something that's actually weighing me down. I'm carrying something that's not even me. It's fake. It's like I get up every morning and I put on a shirt, right? And a regular shirt, and I feel good and good. But instead of putting on a regular shirt, I get up every morning and I put on a 50-pound backpack. I put on a big ski mask. I put on big goggles. So I'm walking around with like 80, 90 extra pounds. That's myself. So when I take all of that off, I am light. I am now into my essence. So when I'm into my essence, I immediately move up from the intermediary part of manifesting. Now I'm into the highest part of manifesting. That means that I am more able to bring things a lot faster than an average person can manifest, because I am not associated with the self. I'm not associated with my name Mark or any of that stuff. I'm aware of it when you call me Mark. Say, hey Mark, I know what's going on. But for me, the awareness of it, I know it's just a facade. See, that's the key. So if you want to get from the self, here's the easiest way to get from the self. I gotta make this real simple for you to understand. Be aware of the self, but don't get into the self. Okay, it's like this. Easiest thing to understand. Okay, let's use sports. Let's say you're a player or a basketball player or a football player, and you're on the field playing. That's you. What you have done now, you said, okay, you know what? I am no longer playing in the game now. I'm going to become a spectator. So I'm going to go in the sidelines and watch. So you're not the player of the self, you're the watcher now. Because you're watching, whatever the guy's doing on the field cannot affect you. Understand what I'm saying? So that's what I do. I became the watcher of the self, of the part of me. I don't go in and participate with it. I don't play it. I watch it. And because I watch it, I am separating myself consciously from a height to a different level. And when I get to a different level, then a lot of stuff that comes with the self starts to dissipate. A lot of fear goes away, a lot of anxiety go away, a lot of worry go away, a lot of stress go away, self-comparison goes away. You know what? You want to know the paradox of all that? Here's the paradox. Here's a real trippy one about it. The more you stop identifying with the self, the more you get everything you want. The more love comes into your life, the more money comes into your life, the more health comes into your life, the more respect comes into your life. And you ever wonder why? Think about it, right? Do everybody know why? Because you were always taught that you have to identify with the self or the ego to become great. You have to always have this ego mind. You have to be this to get what you want. You see it like movie star. Oh, you gotta come big. You gotta make a name for yourself, man. But it's like the opposite, right? So if you just get away from all that stuff come to you. Does anybody know why? Can you comment and tell me why that happens? I'll tell you why. Go ahead and comment. I'm guessing many may not know this. If you know this, congratulations, you're on a higher level of consciousness. Let's test your level of higher consciousness. Why does this work this way? Anyone knows? No resistance. That's the effect of it. So the resistance is the effect of it. I like to know the cause. That's the effect. So that what I'm saying to you is, if you disassociate from the self, you will get all the attention, all the gratitude, all the greatness, all the fame, all the fortune, whatever. It'll automatically come to you. Does anybody know why? Okay, let me tell you why. Here's the answer. Yeah, you all good, great answer, but all of you giving me the effect. So here's the cause of it. Okay, all the selves are connected by a field of consciousness. So I'm connected to you, you're connected to me, but we're connected on a subconscious level. So it's an invisible cord of energy all over the world. So everyone's connected. And that invisible cord of energy is called the collective subconscious. Okay? So our subconscious, remember, our subconscious is 97% our life. It controls the majority of our life. So when someone is disassociated from the self, an alarm goes off. Beep, beep, to the collective. The collective now looks at that person as unique, as special, because the collective is still tied to the self. And here's the thing about human beings. When human beings, they will always be attracted and they will always worship, they will always be around something that's way more unique than the rest of them. The old analogy is this. When something new or different comes out, everybody's on it. When everybody have the same thing, it's not as popular. When there's something unique, everybody jumps to it. That's what will happen with you. You will become unique. And because you're unique, everybody else will gravitate towards you subconsciously, because they see you as above the self. Remember how humans are programmed. Humans are automatically built to have fondness for something that they think is over them. Deep. Now you got it. So automatically you'll get more attention, you'll get more respect, you'll get more admiration, because everyone wants to be what you are, because they are still tied to what? Anxiety, depression. And then when they see you, you don't exhibit all of those, because subconscious gravitates to you because it thinks you can help for them not to get those, to lose those things. So they always come to you. So that means they'll shower you with more gifts, you get more money, because they want to have what you are displaying. That's how human psychology works. See how it works? And now you know. And I'll see you next time.